What's up, man? So, hey, I got you something because I give all my podcast guests a gift. You can
great.
open it. Yeah. It's just a little something because I think you're from this place.
By the way, is that the best way to start with a gift? Like, I think this is.
You know what?
I think
It's
this is
my
going to be
way,
a good gift.
So, it is what it is.
Nice, dude.
You know what? They were on sale.
Dude, I love that. You just know all the right things to say when giving a gift to a stranger. Fuck yeah, dude. This is dope, actually. I don't have enough Seahawks for the listeners, or I guess you can see this.
Yeah.
It's a Seahawk beanie. Let me flash it for the cam.
You're from Seattle,
That's
though.
my squad. I am.
Are you a Hawks fan or?
Yeah, diehard. Everything
Okay,
Seattle.
sick.
Mariners, Sonics, Seattle Storm. The only team I don't really have a lot of fandom for are the Sounders, just because soccer is not really
soccer.
a sport that I'm a giant fan of. But I hear the games are incredible. They sell them out. You know, once we lost the Sonics, thanks for bringing that up, in 2010, that was there was a void that needed to be filled with another sport. And I don't know what other sports were on the docket before soccer. Maybe like competitive ping pong. Hockey's coming.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
In 2 years. So Seattle's a big market city, so we should have all the big stuff, you know.
One of my best friends is from Seattle, and then another great friend is from Seattle. I was a Seattle fan last Sunday for about 24 hours because you guys were playing the most hated team in my life, at least.
Oh, good.
The Packers.
Yeah, I hate Aaron Rodgers with a fiery passion.
What is it about that guy? It's his face, obviously, number one.
It's his face. It's his boring demeanor. He's so good, and he's so boring, and he's so smug.
And he's got a porn mustache now.
Yeah, dude, and he just looks like an asshole. He looks like the type of guy that will definitely, like, you know, flick off kids if they even if their bike like touches his driveway.
Absolutely.
Like, he'll definitely come out with like the big middle finger, like the big Wisconsin fucking fuck you, fatty. I'm assuming he's fat. He lives in Wisconsin, but yeah, Rodgers. Yeah, man.
He's a pain in the ass, man.
When people are that good, it's why people hate Brady. When they're that good, it's not exciting. But
he's on your team. You're like, oh, this is fucking.
I thought there was going to be a Ravens Seahawks Super Bowl there for a minute.
I wouldn't have hated that, actually.
No, it'd be really because you want to see two quarterbacks. You know, Titans Niners is not going to be fun, and that's what I'm picking.
That's right.
I think the Chiefs are going to get upset.
Ooh, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just think they're cursed, man. I think Andy Reid.
So are the Chiefs cursed or Andy?
Well, the two go hand in hand. I
Okay.
think Andy Reid is just his time in Kansas City, especially with home games. I mean, look, last year they were one offsides call away from going to the Super Bowl, but Andy Reid looks like the Monopoly guy's agent, and he doesn't strike me as a guy that has luck on his side when it comes to football, and that sucks. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to leave Kansas City in like 3 or 4 years and go win it with another team. I don't want that to happen, but I think that's going to happen. That's a hot take.
That is a hot take. Holy shit. Hopefully, maybe it comes full circle.
Hot take right from Timonium, Maryland, where all the hot takes are born.
Right.
By the way, did not even know Timonium, Maryland was a place until I came here.
This is one of those places that if you look up Google places that people don't know are places, this would be top 5.
How long have you been here?
I'm not from here.
Right.
I'm about an hour south of here in Northern Virginia.
Gotcha.
And I'm from Chicago. So
That's
I'm a
right.
Bears, diehard Chicago, everything guy.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, be careful. Because, Mahomes' name comes up. So last week was the Trubisky Bowl.
Yeah. What's that?
That's where both quarterbacks, Houston and then KC, both those guys were taken after the Bears picked Mitchell Trubisky.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bummer, dude.
Awful, man. Like, you got two.
Chicago's got so many other great things going, though. You're fine.
We had Michael Jordan. We had the Cubs a few years ago.
You kind of really can't. Yeah, man. You really can't be too picky after you had the Jordan era.
No,
you know?
I mean, it was like being a Patriot fan, right? You're just like every year it's like, they're going to win.
Oprah tapings were in Chicago.
Oh, man, that's right.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's never been a collective group of wet women every Friday. I don't know when they taped, but whenever they taped.
Right.
I mean, God, that's one thing I regret. I wanted to go to a taping of Double Dare growing up, Oprah.
Oprah's a big one.
Fucking Tailspin, but then I realized that's a cartoon, so you can't go see a taping of that.
That's a throwback, dude.
Yeah, but anything where there's a lot of, just raw energy that you can be a part of, and that's why comedy's great,
Oh, absolutely. So, have you been to Baltimore before? Have you been in this area?
I did the Comedy Factory. It was the first time I came out here, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and now it's a Magoobies.
Magoobies, yeah.
Type of night, but Yeah, I mean, D.C., Arlington. I've been out this way a lot.
I just missed you in D.C. I didn't even realize you were just there.
Oh, yeah, for New Year's at the Improv.
20 minutes away. We were actually looking to go somewhere, and then we...
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Man, those shows, that was a great time to be in that city because the club is, A-list, and all the shows were pretty much sold out because of just the time of year. The club is so, reputable, and people, it was everyone wanted to go out that time, and it was like not too cold to be out, and
it was nice.
Shows were electric, man. That's a bummer.
I saw something on YouTube. It might have been one of the skits that you did. I was dying. I think it was the Stream Dreamer.
Oh yeah. So I bring a buddy of mine, Avery Pearson, on the road sometimes, and we do improvised musical crowd work. He's a keyboard player for about 20, 25 minutes at the end of my hour of stand-up, and we found this kid who was unemployed and was just looking for friendship. This kid was look, if you were to pick a guy out of a line of guys to be like, which guy fucks a lot, you wouldn't pick this guy, and that's fine. He's offering up a lot of other fun personality traits.
Zelda,
dude, yeah, he looked like a kid who if he didn't get his life on track, you'd hear about him falling off a cliff looking for a Pokemon Go character. But he was a real sweet kid. Turns out his dream was to be make a lot of money from Twitch and be a Twitch streamer. And then we made up the song that was just like two Casey and JoJo's All My Life, and he came up on stage and ended up like singing this like duet about it.
Came out of his show.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty great. He was so appreciative after, and his folks were like, "Man, that made his year." And it was really fun. And that's what's great about crowd work and why I love it so much. It's like you truly can have these, insanely organic moments that everyone knows is only happening like right there. And if it, it's all about listening and trusting yourself. When I first started doing crowd work, I didn't listen, so I was just. They'd be talking, and I'd be thinking of like, man, you got to say something funny quick, because I thought silence and building a moment was unprofessional, and I just wanted to get to the laughs. If I didn't hear laughs, it was like, it wasn't comfortable, and that just takes obviously time and reps of doing it and trusting yourself to have sometimes even a 40-second conversation where there's no laughs, just gathering information, but being engaging enough, and then getting good to a point to where you won't have a 3-minute conversation with no laughs and it's flatlining, because then obviously the audience is like, you need the LPMs, laughs per minute, to be like frequent so people stay engaged. And I feel like I got pretty comfy at that now, to be able to like navigate any moment. And that's ends up sometimes to a fault. People walk out of the show, and if something really great happens that wasn't planned, they remember they focus on that, which is great, because sometimes you'll get repeat customers from that, but then also you're like, well, what about all those jokes I took a lot of time to write? And they're like, nah, I don't fucking remember what you said, but when that guy said that fucking thing and then you said that other thing, that was cool. That was,
oh my god, yeah. I mean, a lot of people consider you the GOAT of this now, like the best.
I don't know if that's the case.
I don't know of anybody else I've ever seen who does it like you do.
I mean, that's nice. Yeah, I definitely am not the GOAT of it. There's a lot of good crowd work people. I think it's just my approach.
It just seems like you planned it.
Yeah, my approach is I just try to kill it with kindness. And again, like trusting. I enjoy the more information you have, man, and the first guy I ever saw do it was Patrice O'Neill. And what I really loved about it, and what I tried to like apply when I started doing it, was having a handful of, like, not just doing one guy during a show, but like, finding a 3 or 4 different, people and moments to pull from. And what's up?
Oh, we're good.
Cut time from somebody. Who do you want it to be if we're starting 5 minutes late?
Oh, I don't know.
Feature. All right.
Yeah, or I'll just cut. I'll just do 55 instead of an hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Nah.
Yeah. So.
Have you always been this funny though? Like growing up, what was?
I was a pretty funny kid. Yeah. I don't know.
I just always wonder, man. Like, 'cause it's one of those.
I did a lot of impersonations of teachers and friends. That was kind of how I started to get laughs. And then but I wasn't like, you hear about those kids that were just like the entertainment at like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and all that. I was pretty quiet and at home. It was school when I kind of found my niche and got comfy around friends and just had more of an audience, I guess. Also, the family situation, there was never any like real consistent stability in a lot of areas. So it was almost like, you know, school. That's why I loved school because, and not the studying and the homework part, but just a break away from the home life and to. And it's not like I had a crackhead mom. It was just, you know, divorce and then crazy sister and then single mom shit and then sister goes away and then, you know, dad's new family comes into the picture, unexpected. Just a lot of like, you know, crazy variables at a young age and, you know, fat kid teasing stuff. And then, so just, you know, school was such oh, cool, I can get away from all that and kind of have a clean slate. But yeah, I was always trying to make people laugh, I guess. Not until 6th grade, and I've said this before on other podcasts, but, you know, I was getting teased a lot. And when it started to happen from, like, friends of mine, then I was like, oh, man, this sucks. And before I decided to try to drop some LBs, which spreads like wildfire, when a fat kid starts turning down, like, handy snacks at, like, you know, lunch or any sort of, like, function where there's just, you know, kids' metabolism is all pretty much at a, you know, at a high level. So, like, no one's really... Especially when a fat kid's just like, I'm good on the pizza and is dipping celery sticks. I mean, dude, teachers and moms, I remember at the 6th grade party, were just like, Ray, you don't want the pizza? You don't want the delicious pepperoni pizza that's staring you in your fat fucking pupils? Like, when they're saying your pupils are fat, that's when you know you got a problem.
Oh, my God, yeah. This is a fitness podcast, by the way, so this is...
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, this is perfect, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. So then I started to kind of make friends laugh, and once I started to kind of get attention for being the funny kid and not the fat kid, that's when I kind of started to chase it a little bit with a little bit more
maybe you had some
purpose.
Yeah.
It was giving me confidence, but also I was like, oh, cool. I'm you know, like any kid getting accepted for something that that is widely accepted. Like everybody wants to be around the funny kid, and so that was a quick way to just. And I had friends, so it wasn't like I was like, you know, thirsty for more attention or more, you know, camaraderie at any point. But it, because the buddies that I had that, like, you know, we would prank call this one kid that was kind of, I guess, dating the new hot girl in school. So myself and a couple of kids, I could do her voice really well. So my voice hadn't dropped, obviously. She didn't have a voice this deep, but we would call him and prank him. And he bought it, and we'd go to school, and he was like, yeah, she keeps calling me. It's fucking great. We're like, that's crazy, man. And it wasn't that diabolical. We weren't like, you know, sit next to me at the lunch table and put your fingers up my skirt, you know. It was just like, you know, hold my hand at this and come out and find me at recess. And they would just die. So, like, you know, I had small pockets of audiences. But, you know, you want to just, you know, that's, when you're a kid, it's just like, finding a lane and like whether it's one, you know, the kids that you have like Cub Scouts with or that you're maybe on a soccer team with, having that translate at school is pretty imperative to like your social psyche and just the way, whether it's going to be a good day or bad day, like, because no kid wants to just be all about school. Like it's, you know, that's boring. I mean, some kids are, but it's like even the ones I remember that were just so studious and straight A students, it's like they're still playing at reset. They're still finding things. So you still want to have your group to feel a part of.
Those are the guys that get to college and like fucking all hell breaks loose, right? Like it's like, oh my God, Mike's an alcoholic now. He used to be a straight A student.
Oh man, I should be so jealous of the kids that also too on the flip side of that would like get fucked up with their parents. Like I think it was like middle school or high school. They're like, yeah, I smoke weed with my fucking dad. Like, and then, you know, 10 years later, you're like, oh, what's up, man? No, Costco rules, dude. You been 20 years now? Fuck yeah, man. You get to what? You run the same. You get to pitch which samples get to go in front of which freezer. You know, it's like, dude, smoking with your dad paid off, man.
Right. Wow. I really missed out, man. Holy shit.
But well, that's cool. Wait, so fitness. So you're a very in shape dude. What is your regimen? What do you? Wow. And has it always been? Well, how about this? Let me get more specific.
Yeah.
What's the most days you'll skip and not feel bad about it?
I have a rule. I never miss twice. So if I have a day that I don't go to the gym, then.
Are you a trainer?
So I used to be
Right.
16 years ago.
Every trainer or former trainer or current trainer has some sort of motto, catchphrase. You have to though, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
you were like, I never miss twice. Like guess what, dude? That to me is, I can get more on board with that versus like, never like, don't let your heart, what's up, dude? Just in the middle of a bit, but what's up? Yeah. Yeah.
If you're doing 55 minutes, I'll give you a 50 light.
We're
50
raw,
light?
man.
Actually, no, give me still at 40 because I like to I like to stretch out the close up.
You're doing 55 though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, doggy.
Gotcha.
You want to let me at 40 and then 50 too.
Gotcha.
I love you.
If
Thank
the show
you.
goes bad tonight, this is my fault.
Yikes! I did an hour and 40 last night, and I've never done that before.
Holy shit, that's a long set.
It was probably close to an hour of stand up, and then I just didn't want to get off. There was maybe, I don't know, 120 people here. This room holds maybe, I'm gonna say close to 4 maybe, and so it was a nice light, intimate Thursday, but they were just fun, so I just didn't want to get off.
Didn't want to leave, yeah.
And there was no late show, and they were engaged. They all stayed. Like again, you read the room. If people are paying nobody wanted to pay their bill and get out. So if that had happened, I would have. That still would have been, if it was 2 people, I would be like, okay, it's 2 people. We can still keep playing. But everybody stayed. And again, I had pockets of people. It was a good 40 to 45 minutes of crowd work to end the show. And I just kept, and then I would get a big thing. It was like this, and then it was this, and it was this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And so every time I'd get a big one, I was like, get off. And then I would just roll the dice a little bit more, dig another hole, start another whole thing, then go back to something. And then there's this guy named Irv, and him and his wife have been married for 56 years. Oof. And there was a really great moment we had at the end, and a couple funny lines that I had that were kind of a great way to wrap it all up. And it was
How do you feel after a long set like that?
I was fine. I mean, I was a little tired just from the flight in yesterday, but it honestly didn't feel like an hour and 40, which is crazy.
Yeah.
An hour, once you get rolling with it, man, it kind of flows by. I mean, 30 minutes always feels like it takes a minute to get to it, and then after that, it's just like
You're just crushing after that.
Yeah, I mean, I try to
Momentum.
I've tried to hit it pretty hard up top for a good 20 minutes just to really come out of the gate firing, and then find some moments to. And the reason I even started doing crowd work was because it was like, what do I want to watch? I don't want to. I don't like watching just an hour straight of jokes. I want to also breaking the wall, connecting with the audience. I feel like is just so key in doing stand up, and not that you have to do crowd work, but just being someone that is being present on stage, and even if that means like, if you are doing just straight jokes and no crowd interaction, being aware if something goes not the way you wanted, to be able to comment on it, or if something happens in the room, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
At least do that if you don't want to have crowd work be a portion of the program. But I liked that, so I was like, that's why I do it. It's almost a reward too. Once I feel like I come out of the gate and hit hard for a minute, then my reward is to kind of like not chill, but just get to have fun. That's the uncertainty of that is what's fun to me, because there's no guarantee. It's like, I trust that I can spin most moments into some sort of hilarity, but you don't know. So that's the part that's like exciting. It's like, all right, this could fucking be awful. This guy could not want any part of this. There's times I've talked to people and then they've been real combative, and I haven't been the best at spinning it or leaving it, and I keep going at them because I want to kind of break them down and get whatever negative train they're on to derail. But man, but that's why there's never an end point. You just keep every night. There's something else to kind of get better at, and tighten your belt and get your weapons a little sharper for the next set.
What do you do to stay on top of your game? Like, what are some of your routines that? I mean, I don't know.
I try to hit that. So I had a bunch of. I like to do. I mean, I do a handful of different things with voiceover and a couple podcasts and writing all the time, and these things I'm trying to shoot this pilot presentation when I go back to LA. That is a lot that I was going to hire people to help me produce, but now I'm spending a lot of my own money on. Because I'm going to do full prosthetic for 4 different days. I did the roast of Big Papi, David Ortiz, like 3-4 years ago with Bill Burr and Anthony Mackie and Gronk and Dustin Pedroia and Josh Wolf and Sarah Tiana. And it was at the House of Blues in Boston. And I flew out the woman who did this one season of Mad TV I did on CW that got canceled. Nobody watched because CW fucking blew it. But I flew out to Boston, and she made me like a a 75-year-old man that was just unrecognizable. Like Burr could not. We worked out all our roast jokes at Laugh Boston the night before, and Burr's like, "So what are you gonna do? You gonna dress up like fucking Babe Ruth or something? Some shit? What are you gonna fucking?" I was like, "Trust me, Bill, it's gonna be cool, man." He's like, "Fucking whatever." Yeah. And then I get down to the lobby, and we're all getting ready to walk over, and I mean, I looked unrecognizable. There's clips on my Instagram or YouTube, but they didn't air it because it was going to be on Nessun and then on Showtime, which would have been awesome. But a TMZ article came out the next day that was like, Gronk makes fun of Jews, blacks, and Dominicans. It's like everybody did, dude. Thanks, it was a roast. But it was a roast. Right. So it was like, it was clickbait, though. They just decided to make it like, I mean, it's not something Gronk does.
Cancel culture, bro.
Yeah, dude. So Nessun and Showtime were like, we're gonna stay away from this. But I went up to Burr and I was like, "Hey, Bill Burr." I was like, big fan. And he's like, "Ah, cool, man, cool." I was like, "Yeah, I got some notes for your cartoon." He's like, "Notes?" He's like, "Fuck off, dude." I was like, "You're a real prick, you fucking asshole." I was like, people. I was like, "Your fucking cartoon sucks, and fucking you're kind of a piece of shit." You know what? I'm not even a real fan. My friends told me about you. I looked you up and I was like, "This guy's a fucking dickhead." And Bill gets in my face and goes, "Buddy, fuck off." And I just go, "Bill, it's Adam." And he goes, "What?" And then he just kind of looked at my eyes and kind of did like a double take. And then the rest of the night, he couldn't take his eyes off me because he was like, "This shit looks so real."
It's fucking crazy.
And it was awesome. So she's going to do a number on me, 4 different characters for each of these shoots. And it's a really fun concept for a show, man. And kind of following these 4 different people in LA that end up all being connected somehow at the end of the season. But the makeup portion of all is going to cost a pretty penny. So I'm now taking on the producing part so that I don't have to kind of delegate that. And it's more stressful and more work, but I used to do it for all my YouTube sketches and working at Funny or Die for a little bit. So I've got the wherewithal to get it done, but it is a lot. So that's what I was jamming on a lot today and trying to line up those things and get some buddies to, get Joel McHale and Michael Rappaport, do me some, solids and be in some of the things real quick. And, But
so how do you recharge?
My routine, I try to, gym, try to 4 or 5 days a week, man. Just to warm up the pipe, like even just doing the gym, quickly before this was, just a little 45 of cardio, like enough to, dude, there's a point where I was lifting nonstop. In high school when I was playing football, I was just doing all the camps and doing all the polymetrics and the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday polymetrics and lifting, and I was just, and you're in better shape in high school. Your body's just better equipped to handle all that and get shaped the way you want to be. And dude, I was, but then I was also getting a little too like that. And then, so for basketball, it wasn't the best. And then when I stopped and kind of just grew a little bit and slimmed down, it was at a good spot. And then college, I found a guy in my acting program and we lifted all the time. My freshman year, I was probably in the best shape ever then because it was like lifting the right way, like just toned and just like how I should be right now, and then life takes over.
Life on the road too. It's not
life on the road, and I've it's my shit fluctuates. I definitely would love to be in better shape right now, and I think I'm on the path. I've cut out a lot of stuff that's helped, and I don't drink a ton, so that's never been a thing. But it's also just like getting consistent with like during the day, man. I like go coffee and maybe some sort of smoothie thing up top in the morning. And then don't really eat for a little bit until dinner, and then even if I miss dinner, I don't like to be full before shows.
Sure.
Like even tonight. I haven't eaten since the afternoon, and so now the move is then to probably not eat again tonight, but I know I'm going to be starving after the shows because I don't want to be full before the shows, so I'll try to get something really light. I'll, Uber Eats a salad from somewhere,
sure,
and try to jam on that, and hopefully it's not too late, and if it is, then I'll just try to like, nibble on enough of it to kind of tide me over so that I can not go to bed hungry, because then it's the shit.
Then you wake up probably fucking starving and ready to.
Totally. But I've also done it enough to where it also depends if I get high, because I haven't smoked in like almost 3 weeks, and something about being at Timonium and it being Friday night, and I've got like an insane schedule coming up with traveling with, Mark Sanchez and I doing this football show. Going to the Pro Bowl and to the Super Bowl.
Oh shit.
And then I'm doing the Impractical Jokers cruise in February. So I'm going to Miami and Orlando like back and forth 3 times. I'm going. So next week I go to. It's just a lot, dude. And this is where, again, you got to make sure you get the eating and sleep stuff in order so that I feel good, even just being on the plane. And even if it's trying to sleep on the plane, but you notice a difference. But we're going to go to, I think it's on the 23rd. I'll go to Orlando, we'll do the Pro Bowl stuff, get a bunch of interviews. Then I'll fly back on the 26th, shoot my thing a couple more days that I put together. That day, I'll land at like 8 a.m., shoot all day the 27th, leave on the then do Spade show on the 28th, and then leave on the 29th for Miami, do the Super Bowl for 2 days, fly back, and then I'm home for like 10 days, and then back to Miami for the Joker's Cruise. And then every weekend through April. So it's a lot,
Yeah.
But, again, but it's like hitting that gym a little bit was just enough of like a recharge to feel good right now. And then it's like, I mean, you can speak to this probably better than anyone. It's just, finding those moments to chill out and let your body take a breather.
For sure.
Because I've definitely burnt the candle at both ends for a handful of years now.
Yeah.
And it's catching up with me. And I got the flu. I was supposed to be in Mexico for a vacay the first week of the new year and had to cancel it because I was just everything just kind of hit at once.
Yeah.
And sleep is key, right? I mean, and I'm trying to always get more of that.
Sleep
but
is
it's
crucial.
And I try to fuck with like, melatonin gummies and whatever.
Nah,
and
man, smoke.
pot usually helps.
Yeah.
But it's also with the pipes.
Indica,
I wake
right?
up groggy. Yeah, indica.
Could knock you out.
I know, man. And
The only
it's,
problem is I can't get my life together the next day.
I also get the fucking munchies, man. And it's
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
Make a big, you know what? You got to do the prep. You order the salad, then you smoke, and then you're like,
Yeah.
all right, those croutons are looking fucking.
I know, but then I find something to dip the croutons in. I'll go down to the hotel and be like, you guys got any fucking
ranch?
Yeah, you got any? Yeah, exactly. Got some toaster strudel icing.
You know what you really need? You just need a slogan, man. Never miss twice or something like that.
Never miss
You got
twice.
to make
Has
your
there ever
own.
been a gym slogan that someone's thrown your way that you've wanted to take, or that you're like, oh man, like the same way a comedian hears a joke, and like, I wish I thought of that.
Fuck, man. I'm sure there's been 1,000, but never miss twice always stuck to me because like I was fat too back in the day.
Let me turn this.
Oh yeah, you're good, man.
I don't want you to hear.
No, no, we can edit the volume later too, so we're good. Yeah, perfect.
Fuck that, though.
Fuck,
dude.
yeah, you're right.
We don't want to hear Daniel.
It's all right. I was trying to
Shout out to
or
you.
whatever it's called. And I was like, I'm just focused on your voice and
it's
not
all-
whoever this
It's Daniel, the
adolescent
opener.
voice.
He's funny, but we don't want to hear your shit, dude.
Yeah, this isn't your podcast, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe after.
Wait, so what's the other slogan?
No, I think well, never miss twice always stuck to me. I used to be overweight, right? So that's how I got
How
into fitness.
overweight?
80 pounds, bro.
So that
I
was,
was
your
100.
what?
I was 265, and then I got down to 185. Now I'm like
Damn.
200. Yeah,
That's a good spot, right?
200's cool. I mean, we're like the same height, so like 200 pounds is pretty solid.
Yeah,
man.
I'd like
You're not
to-
a small guy. Like you have a.
Yeah, but I'd like to. Man, I was at one point cruising at like 187.
That's a good weight, dude.
Dude, and
I
that's
would
where I
like to
should
be
be. I'm
187, to be
barely
honest.
6'1", so and that to me is like that's.
That's actually like the perfect height
Man, I'm
weight
like-
combo or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like probably 15 overweight, which is like. But
But,
again,
you know,
it's like I feel like.
I was
I don't
gonna
hate.
say-
I don't hate how I look, but then it's like, I know what it
Yeah.
could be, and it's also for, for the acting stuff, man. It's like you got to be. You got to be the
Blasting
you trying to be
crews,
the,
man.
the
That's what you
cool
gotta
the
do.
cool guy. You trying to
Yeah.
be
You trying to be a fit comedian,
The
or are
friend.
you fucking like ripped on stage?
no, I'm not. I don't want that at all. That's not funny.
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
definitely gets in my head sometimes
Abs
too.
never
Where
make
I'm,
anybody
I'm
laugh,
like,
dude.
I don't want to. If I feel, it's weird, dude. Comedians are constantly getting pulled into like this black hole, and it's the kind of the climb out of it that is what makes you great. And when things are really cruising and you're feeling good, at least for me, and I think a lot of comics would say the same thing, you don't feel at your funniest. So it's like when shit's
man.
always a little off, or you don't.
I've heard that.
And
yeah.
I've sometimes, dude, it's weird. I got a weird complex about it sometimes when I will kind of get real zen and be like, man, family's doing all right. Had a career kind of where I want. I feel good. I'm on track. I don't have any negativity. And then I'm just like, I'll almost kind of not sabotage something or throw something off, but like look for something to get a little, just because it feeds me to kind of, to want to smooth things out. It's like I'm always looking for a little rough edge to sand out and buffer, because it just makes me.
That's actually a primal trait, right? So there's a book called The Way of the Superior Man, and it talks about how.
Did Shel Silverstein write it? Because that's the last book I read.
No, I don't think it was Shell, but it talks about how easy, right? The concept of shit being easy all the time is detrimental to our mental health. And
Yeah.
how your expectation.
Gotta be stimulated and
Yeah,
challenged.
you need that shit as a man, right? And there's another one called The Big Leap, who talks about oftentimes when we reach our perceived ceiling, right?
Yeah.
When we think, oh, we're fucking, we're killing it.
Yeah.
We got to do something to knock us down a little bit.
Yeah.
So we get hungry again. You know, like Arnold, who was like, of course, fitness guy, fucking cliche as fuck, but you know, he was one of my idols growing up.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, and he talks about like, oh, you make it to the top of the mountain, you're the fucking wolf, right? But you forget though, you used to be the hungry wolf down at the fucking bottom, and that's what got you to the top, right? And so now you're looking around and all these other hungry wolves who are trying to reach your spot. You know, him being Arnold, obviously top of the food chain or whatever, but he's like, you know, you want that back, right? You want to create that, and I guess that might be what you feel at that time.
How
right?
come Arnold hasn't opened a gym?
I know, right? What
called
the fuck?
"You'll Be Back"? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, that's your slogan.
Or just
You'll
I
be
don't
back.
know. Or I mean,
that's it.
That guy, dude, truly a freak of. It might be like considered the Michael Jordan, Tony Robbins, Oprah of his field.
Yes. Yeah,
of body. I mean, you look at like a lot of wrestlers that have done it well, but I don't know. Arnold was a true bodybuilder,
Absolutely.
right? Like Hulk Hogan also looked like he was in decent shape.
Yeah.
But more for the sport.
He was a wrestler.
Right?
Yeah.
He was a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have like triceps and abs the way that Arnold did, right?
Yeah.
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 What was it about Arnold's? Like, did you ever see that and go, I want to get that big?
No, it was never his body, man. It was
Just
his
his what?
attitude.
Yeah.
It was just his attitude. Like, he comes from nothing, you know? Like, he's this guy from...
He was like a poor Austrian boy, right?
He went to the military. I related a lot to that because my dad was a, fucking military or death, right? Like, that was it.
Wow.
And that was the same with his dad. His dad was the same way. And then Arnold joined, and fucking escaped and, like, was like, no, I'm going to go compete in bodybuilding. And they were, like,
my God.
trying to track him down. So that whole journey, like, resonated with me. I was like, yeah, you don't have to be fucking, you have to be a Marine or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's crazy, dude.
Do you have pets?
My two kids.
Your two kids, yeah. I'm always
That's
curious
enough for
too
me,
with
dude.
people that have fitness at such a priority. Like, do they have the extracurricular things to balance out, or like what? Or are you just like gung ho with fitness 24/7?
Dude. I was.
And does it
drinking-
make you a better or worse fitness person to have kids, pets, or lack thereof?
No, my shtick is I'm not your average fitness guy. Meaning I'd much rather have a drink with you than go do curls or whatever.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because life is too short. I understand that there needs to be a lot of the good stuff, right? Like 80% of the time, eat healthy, lift, all that stuff. But I like to have a few drinks, go have fun, play with my fucking kids and do whatever, right? And eat pizza. Because I don't want to look back at my life and be like, yeah, I fucking six pack, but I have no fucking memories. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty awful.
Wow.
That scares me, right? That's awful.
Yeah, except for the memories of getting that six pack and posting about it.
Right. That's pretty. Yeah.
Which I get to. I mean, I've got some comedian buddies right now that are getting in great shape, and they used to dog on the people that posted the gym videos, and now they do them so hardcore. A couple of them are really famous, so I don't really have. I know they wouldn't respond to me taking the piss out of them, but it is very hypocritical and silly. But then I check myself and go, hey man, like I'm a big advocate of like the world is so fucked on many levels.
Sure.
And everyone's looking for a little piece of the feel good pie.
Yeah.
And however you get your slice, if you're not stealing it from somebody else, you're making your own, and then you're cutting your slice to feel good. Like, get it how you get it. And if it's motivating you, if it's feeling good, but to me, it's just like, which is why I always am fighting like how much social media stuff to do, because I'm like, I get enough attention from what I'm doing. So to really be posting all the really braggadocious shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, I'm doing it to, for me, sometimes when I'm posting, if I got something or this and that, it's to, or I'm on this show, it's to keep, you're trying to. Also, the perception and image stuff is such a big part of what we do.
Sure.
And so, and people don't know unless it's a way for people to keep tabs, dude. There's people, comedy, execs and whoever that have said to me when I've seen them at a meeting or a club, like, congrats on this and this and that. And they've only seen it because they've been keeping tab, or they see things pop up. So you're doing your due diligence.
They saw you on TikTok.
Yeah, dude, you're doing your due diligence to keep all that shit,
right.
Popping up. But the pet thing, the kids. So I just got a dog, and it's a Cavapoodle. My girl and I got it.
What the fuck
and,
is that?
It's a Cocker Spaniel poodle,
Oh,
adorable
okay,
little
Cocker
thing,
Spaniel,
and it's definitely taking on kid. It's
The
it's
energy
feeling.
is headed in the right
Oh
direction.
man,
Yeah,
I mean, just talking to my girl, and she had like a little sling when she was out with her, and a bag for
Oh,
some
there you
stuff, and a
go.
poop bag, and food, and a bottle, and I was just like, wow, we are parents more or less. Obviously not, but feel
You're-
like it. You care
You're
about
there.
it that
You're on
much.
the precipice, right?
Yeah, you're on the kid path, but
Absolutely.
But one of my buddies was who's got 2 cats, and he was like, "Why didn't you even consider a cat?" He's like, "Way less work." I'm like, "Fuck off!" Like cats are. My sister had cats growing up, and then rescued a few. Cats and I have never seen eye to eye.
Nah, me neither.
And
I
that's
can't do it.
because my first real interaction was me waking up and one of her cats like sitting up on my desk staring at me like this, and I was just so creeped out.
No thanks.
And it's like, it's also scientifically proven dogs have bigger hearts and brains because they're more social animals. So they're have been created to adapt to more socializing cultures, and cats are much more solitary, like don't have bigger brains and hearts because they don't. Also, they like. I was reading all these things on him after he said that because he was like trying to make all these points, and it said like cats, like when they rub up against you, it's not for love, it's like marking their territory. Because other cats, if they smell that their smell is on the person, it's kind of like that they got you. And think about it, a dog runs up to you and smothers you up with licks and love.
Yeah.
And a cat will just fucking fuck you from across the room, scratch you. Every time I came through the door, my sister's cats would go,
yeah.
versus a dog licking you. That's the equivalent of a person hugging you up, giving you some smooches on the cheeks, versus being like, fuck off, man,
right.
and like flexing on
house.
you.
Right.
And also, they eat you if you die. Dude,
No fuck.
that is a
what?
roommate red flag.
Is that real?
Oh, yeah, dude. They said dogs, will kind of do it too.
They'll call the police. Dogs will call the police, right?
Well, dogs will
Dial
like
911.
dogs. Yeah, for sure. They care more. But cats, like, I guess will wait like 2 days max, and then they'll start chomping away.
And then 16 hours in, they're like, fuck it. Let's go.
Once your body starts to rot, which again is like,
that is like
so
a snake.
bonkers. And again, it's like,
snakes do.
and I was telling my buddy, I go, this thing is living with you. Again, like break it down in human terms. Imagine interviewing someone for like to stay in your place, and you're like, all right, so you got a car, cool parking spot, we got you that. We pay the rent 30th of every month. Oh, and dude, if I die unexpectedly, you're not gonna fucking eat me, are you?
Oh, yeah,
and imagine
definitely.
the cat or the person just doesn't say anything back to you, and just like, and fucking walks away, and then you being like, you know what, less is more. I know. Silence is
Shouldn't
golden.
ask that
I'm gonna roll the
question.
dice. Cats, I don't know, dude. They're so
That fucking
unlikable
creeps
to me.
out now. I don't trust
Look it up. They
guys who-
eat you if you die. That's fucking.
I did a tweet the other day, and it was like, I don't trust guys who own cats. And that got a lot of hate, but I was like, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? A dog owner, I'm like, you know what, dude?
I know,
I love
man.
you, man. You're cool. You can raise a dog, you treat a dog well. You're probably good.
Why would
decent
you
human.
want something too that doesn't?
It doesn't need you really.
No, it doesn't.
Right? It does
They're
its own
very
thing. You can leave it on
independent.
vacation, leave it food and litter box and shit, and it survives. Like, no problem.
I guess that is
Dog
kind of
would
nice.
It is nice.
Says a lot about you though, too, right? Like how much
You're like,
responsibility.
Let me Craigslist some cats over here. That sounds good.
I mean, also like, I do, and I never have any sort of empathy when I like hear an alley cat fight. I'm just always like, fuck, dude, whatever is happening,
He dies.
You had it coming. You got 9 lives. Yeah.
Well, every Disney movie too. Like I watch Disney movies. That's my
What
fucking
good
kids,
cat
but
movies have there been? Well, the Aristocrats is pretty
Every
good.
cat in every movie is like a villain. though.
Oliver and Company. No, is that dogs or cats?
No, that was dogs.
How about the
dude.
movie Cats? Bombed.
Worst
big time.
movie ever.
Did you see
Yeah.
it?
No, fuck no.
I kind of want to see it.
I
That's a movie to get really
tomatoed
baked
the
and
hell
see.
out of that, and it was like 2% like some of that. Idris
Doesn't
Elba or
it
whatever
suck
his name was in it.
that Idris Elba, yeah, and Judi Dench.
Gee, what are you thinking?
But the fact that we've gotten to a point, it used to be like Siskel and Ebert just being like, nope.
Right,
And now
right,
it's
right.
like, now there's just so many people to chime in to tell us if something's going on. I mean, and Rotten Tomatoes just being like, it's a percentage of how, I mean, that's truly how people gauge.
I don't look at the
if-
audience score. I look at the critics, which is probably dumb on my part, but audience is always untrustworthy. I go
It
and
is.
see- Yeah, because you got haters, you know?
Yeah.
And then you got some people who review movies who are friends with a lot of the people involved who are like,
It's
yeah, I'm going
all-
to give him my honest.
It's political, man.
It's fucking
Sandler getting
political
snubbed
shit.
for Uncut Gems was a
my
big
God.
bummer.
Dude, we only have 45 minutes. I have so much I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
But that was one because one of the things I love about your stuff is you're kind of a throwback in a way to my favorite comedian of all time, Adam Sandler.
Oh, cool.
My favorite CD growing up was
What the hell happened to you?
Stan and Judy's Kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But that was his first one, I think. Before What the Hell Happened to You.
I think it was, and
Yeah.
he had the bits or the sketches, whatever they're called, where he was the peeper. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh,
where he's
yeah.
like the peeper,
Yeah,
whatever.
dude.
And then he's like, and then me and my boys, we're playing sports, and we're sitting around at practice,
Just
and we're
quoting
doing
it.
that
Yeah,
shit.
I know.
It
It's
was
the
like
best.
the fucking best, man.
That
But
was
you
a cool
do
time.
that shit now. You still,
Yeah, I
you still
mean,
come out with albums.
I just came out with an album, Songs for the People, that's like 13 songs
Hilarious.
and 5 sketches. Yeah, thanks, man. It was really fun. I definitely want to do another one and get more friends involved. And, there were a lot of people that just timing-wise didn't work out. Dana Carvey was going to do some shit on it. Mike Henry was the voice of Cleveland on Family Guy. And, but, yeah, I came up on that shit, too. So it's
Yeah.
and you just don't see those types of albums being put out. And it's
it's
because
crazy.
people are so podcast heavy and watching special heavy, but the album is still really cool.
Dude,
And
they're fucking awesome.
and,
Timeless.
and it's also like you want to try to use everything, like having a musical theater background and starting to fuck around with the stuff on stage through stand-up. It's even when I was in Arizona this past December and Avery couldn't come to do the keyboard, so I found this guitar guy and we started doing a thing. And then I was doing a charity show at the Celebrity Theater in Arizona with Frank Caliendo and Brian Callen. It was like 2,800 people in the
Sick.
round, and brought him out to do the guitar. Basically what I do with Avery with musical crowd work, but with a guitar.
Yeah.
And it kind of fit my pipes a little better, just a little, grittier and just a fucking rock guitar. And he just wails. His name's Jeremy Shockley and just kills it. But a few of those clips are on my Instagram at Adam Ray Comedy. But you just, you're supposed to use everything at some point. And they say you will, but you should. And so I'm always looking for ways to take what I've done. It's like, why should I just look at all that time I did that musical theater and some, singing lessons for a little bit even. And then in college, I would always write goofy songs. And I had a kid who now is an amazing composer for a lot of films and amazing guitarist. He would record all my goofy ass songs on his Pro Tool shit in his room, and I would make little, EPs of things. So I've just always been doing it. So it's like, even for the fraternity that I was in, we would go and ask sororities to do exchanges with us, which was like basically, hey, we're going to pay for an event one night where you guys come, we all go on a big party bus, and we go to some club, then we go to something, and we get fucked up, and then everybody fucks each other. And
Wait, that's what happened?
Oh, it was
okay.
awesome. Yeah. And so they wanted me to there was a funny guy to with my guitar make up a song, and basically we walked in the sorority and you ask them, and they get back to you. You ask, I think, a handful. I think we went down to like 4 or 5. And so I wrote this whole song, and they had some cool guys who would walk up and be like, hey, what's up, Pi Phi, Kappa Gamma, and we're about A Pi, and blah, blah, and we want to know if you guys want to go, if you guys are free next Thursday, A-Ray, they call me A-Ray, they go, take it away. So I step up with the guitar and play the song real silly, and all these, and fucking 500 girls just sitting there just laughing, and it
wet
was
as
just
hell.
dope, but we did like 4 in a row on one, and on the third one, I just done like, basically the song was the same for each one, and then I would change the name. It'd be like, so Pi-Fi, or like so DG, or whatever. Will you go to with awesome. And so I said the wrong sorority at the wrong. So I said like Kappa at Pi-Fi, and dude, and I just kind of paused and went like, oop, and all the girls went, what? And they fucking turned on a dime, dude. It was literally like you told them that, like, I don't know, fucking, quotes and hot pictures were now illegal.
Yoga pants are illegal.
Dude, something devastating. And they all flipped out. And then fucking guys behind me were like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, I'm fucking sorry. I was thinking of the last house. And then I tried to skip over it. And then at the end of that, I just went, boom, boom, finished, and was like,
I'm out.
Well, obviously this is not going to happen. I was like, I go, it should still, because it was a honest mistake. I go, you know what? If you guys don't want to go with us because of that, it says a lot about you. Peace
on you.
And one of my buddies, a lot of them were like, that was hilarious. Like, who gives a shit? Like, they asked 4 houses, but it was so, and this is why just, being in a frat even, which I didn't want to do, but kind of, I got a chance to move in early because I did this thing, with the Jews through USC could go to this 2-day early, like, sleepaway camp thing to meet other Jews at school, and then you could move in early. So that was the appealing part of it. And I met some guys that rushed me for the frat, and that's why I did it. And I was like, oh yeah, meet more people. But meeting more people, you meet people that are cool and people that are douchebags, which is any scenario. But some of those guys were so like, you fucked it up for us, dude. And it was so eye-opening to be like, oh, wow, there are people that just don't get it. And
right.
I mean,
but this is how life works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we doing? Good? How's the crowd out there?
Fire.
Yeah?
Awesome, man. This is sick.
The opener was talking about how they're a hot crowd. I'm like,
Oh, good.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Hey, so
Oh, great.
we could talk for fucking hours, man. I would
I
love to
think we-
talk just
yeah,
sports
we'll-
with you, man. But I did want to bring up your new show with. I'll give him a former Chicago Bears quarterback. He never played a
He didn't.
single regular season down.
Bummer.
We could have used him out there because Chicago doesn't. Well, the Bears don't believe in quarterbacks.
They would have rallied around. I bet that would have been cool too if he had a nice little run with you guys.
Oh,
Because
that would- dude,
I think
I'll
Chicago
take
rallies
anything.
around QBs if they deliver, right?
Well, when
Any
we've
team
never
does.
it's never happened. So Jim McMahon delivered a Super
Wow,
Bowl.
I can't believe you
That
guys
was
should try
it.
to snag up Cam Newton. I don't think that's going to happen, but
Yeah, you know who we're gonna get? Andy Dalton. That's who I think we're gonna get. That's
Okay.
that's my hot take.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm
he
not
needs
mad.
a change of scenery, dude.
No, we just got his former offensive coordinator joined our staff as our offensive coordinator.
yeah,
So,
dude.
we're heading in the
Moving on up.
ginger crew
Yeah,
or whatever.
dude.
Speaking
Yeah,
my camera guy's a ginger. Yeah,
Nice,
looks like Andy
dude.
Dalton.
Nice.
There you go. So you got a new show with Mark,
Yeah.
called Fourth and Forever.
Yeah, yeah.
What got you into sports? How that happen?
So I've always, big sports fan. I got to throw out the first pitch at a Mariner game last June and played in the NBA Celebrity All-Star game last February.
Bucket
which was,
list.
Yeah, it's the greatest day of my life. And so sports, did all three sports all through high school and intramurals and I'm just a diehard fan.
Yeah.
And it just was one of those things where, you do enough things, you get into some conversations for things. And my buddies, Callan and Shab, that do Fighter and the Kid at the place where we do Fourth and Forever, introduced me to some of those guys, and they were starting the show. They started the show All the Smoke with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, a basketball
Nice.
show.
Love Steven Jackson.
Yeah, they're killing it. They've had on
fucking
Kobe and Curry and D Wade, and so they want to do a football comedy show that kind of mirrored Fighter and the Kid with a fighter and a comedian and an athlete and a comedian with what we're doing. And
love it.
And so I met with them and met with Mark, and we hit it off right away. And so we just had our second episode come out yesterday or today.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go to the Pro Bowl and Super Bowl and get a bunch of interviews. But we got a lot. Mark's got a lot of people at his disposal. I got some cool people in my Rolodex, and it's fun. It's a challenge too to find this balance of really. Mark does a bunch of other things too, and keeping it somewhat cleaner, but also trying to stay true to what I do and always be able to not censor myself, but getting a little more analytical and wanting to be the casual fan to represent that side for people and ask questions that are setting Mark up for more substantial answers and things that he would answer that he wouldn't talk about on some of these other shows, and in a looser fashion. So it's really challenging to not just come in and wing it. Definitely trying to look at more X's and O's and get some stats, but also my job is to be the one that's a little more not aloof, but looking to him for the
Sure.
But also he needs to feel like he can have a back and forth with me about it. So I can't be completely in the
You can probably
in the
open it
dark.
up a little bit too.